I throw my manhood on my shoulder and I take it down to hell. Let Satan barbecue my stones. Then serve me around. I cut it off. Oh no, I cut it off. Before I touch a man like you, I cut it off. If I marry an ugly woman, oh, with a face that makes me gag, I'd rather smell her funky drawers grinding with a bag. We cut it off. We cut it off. Yeah, before we learn to take this down, we cut it off. Okay, so.
Intrepid Songwriter.
Yeah.
So this being February, Black History Month, I wanted to tell you about a Black History project I did. It's a musical, a play called Eye of the Storm, written by playwright McKinley Johnson. I was brought on as a member of the songwriting team, and it centers around a man named Bayard Rustin, who was a contemporary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So I want you to check out some excerpts from the play. Let's go.
Yes, what? Yes, 4 other board members have called tonight. Please, your decision. All right, vote against naming Westchester High School after its most famous graduate, after the man who ignited the nonviolent movement and changed this country. Your school board's decision is final. Why call me? I'm in New York. You're huge.
Our society and our beliefs are made up of rules, and we can't change the rules of nature and expect legitimacy. As the executive director for the NAACP, I, Roy Wilkins, will not awaken Madam History. For this ludicrous ideal, the records are sealed and the books are closed.
Amen, brother. Amen. A wise cat once told me you can't live on one woman's breakfast all the time. Every now and then you got to get your bacon, eggs, and cheese fried in a different pan. Get your bacon, eggs, and cheese fried in a different pan. Every now and then. And even your old pan will fry like new when you turn up the heat again. Get your bacon, get your eggs, get your cheese fried in a different pan. And save all your bacon grease for your collard greens. Puts the flavor in your pan. Thank you.
Mr. Wilkins. Gentlemen, we stand on the edge of great expectation.
Said the revolutionary Negro.
To the complacent Negroes, brother, if anything is to be done, behold how good and pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Psalm 133.
Unity. Unity. Sounds like a song to me. Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna go through it together. With you for me and me. This ain't some dumbass motherfucking Broadway show. We ain't singing and shit, building a barn in the goddamn backyard.
Settle down, Wilkins. Settle down. Influence.
Yes, sir, boss.
Yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, boss.
Stop it now.
Negroes always wanted, yes, sir, boss, to be the boss of you and be the boss of me. They want a yes, sir, boss. They want a yes, sir, boss.
Swanee, how I love ya. all of you, my hero.
Yes, sir, boss. Yes, sir, boss. Negroes always want a yes, sir, boss. To be the boss of you and be the boss of me. They want a yes, sir, boss. They want a yes, sir, boss.
Justice for all. How can you not see the signs? Justice for all. Because now is the time. Seems I can't drink your water and I can't look through your doors. But if I got to pay my taxes, why can't my children learn with yours?
Justice for all. Justice for all of God's children. Justice for all. Until we all will taste sweet freedom. Justice for all. Until it shines like a beacon. Snarling dogs of fire hoses come to knock me on all fours. But when the billy club splits open mine, my blood is red like yours.
Where's Reverend King?
He the one that called us.
Why ain't he here?
Yeah. Reverend King and Reverend Abernathy flew back to Montgomery this morning.
So as you can see, the general idea behind the play was his place in history had been minimized because of his background. So McKinley wrote the play around talking about what really happened, about Bayard's trip to India and his bringing back the principle of nonviolent protest from Gandhi and organizing the March on Washington. And so many of the things that happened during that time, as we can see, Bayard was an integral part of that. So I encourage you to do some more research. I'm going to put some links, as always, below the video so you can check out our website on the play, so you can check out more about Bayard, more about Marshall and McKinley. And I was just really grateful to be a part of this project. It really stretched me as a writer, really educated me. I did a lot of research. I wrote the opening piece, And We Are Proud, and I did a lot of research into black inventors. And it was just really eye-opening, some things I didn't know. And it was really just a fantastic experience, very educational, very inspirational. And so we really hope it inspires others as well. On to those interviews.
I want people to take away from this piece. I want them to be more aware of Bayard Rustin, because when I was introduced to him, I had never heard of him, first of all, in history lessons. And when I mention his name to people, when I tell them about this piece, most people have never heard of Bayard Rustin, which I think is a shame.
Bayard Rustin really had something wonderful to say to us in this generation. He's a man who withstood all of the obstacles that were against him in spite of whatever people said. He kept going forward, and I think that's a powerful message to give to our young people and to the world.
Take away from the play, basically the theme, the question that the play raises is, when it comes to Bayard Rustin, did history get amnesia? And for me, that means, does history have a right to cut you out, you know, and minimize your contributions to something because it may not agree with your approach or your lifestyle or something about you? So, I mean, that's a very important, you know, question to me, because how perfect do you have to be before you get credit for the good that you've done? Bayard Rustin's name is not synonymous with the movement like Dr. King's is.
I'm assuming because he was gay, 2, because he'd been a conscientious objector, and 3, that he had been a member of the Communist Party. Given when all of this was taking place, all, you know, in 1957, certainly when the show is set, all of those would have been horrible marks against him. I mean, things that should hate him a pariah on society. Any one of those alone would have been enough to defeat the civil rights movement if he was a public face or figure for it. We've talked about the fact that having been, even though he wasn't at that point in time a member of the Communist Party, the fact that he had been. People's lives were destroyed for simply going to a meeting once when they were in their 20s, and having been an active member of the Communist Party, that reflection on the movement would have been enough to have killed it. You add to that the fact that he'd been a conscientious objector during World War II, and the fact that he was gay. Movement would have been dead before it ever began if he had ever been a public face of that movement. There is just absolutely no way that they would have survived.
Rustin Access Center, open door repertory. I'm going to tell you, when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a, theater kind of person.
No, not you.
We used to do these, little one-act plays and things like that. Of course, we'd like to date, we didn't have any money and stuff, but if you could walk through the woods and do a little Shakespeare, shall I compare thee to a summer day?
So the three of us, McKinley Johnson, playwright, myself and Marshall Titus, created, shaped, refined, reworked, and developed the music for the play. We created at least 75 distinct pieces of music for the play, and I think we ended up using maybe about 50 or 55 in the final production, but it was a lot of fun, it was a lot of work. We used just about every African American style of music that we could. We used blues, jazz, gospel, spirituals, hymns, all with a musical theater influence. We experimented with a little hip hop, and we definitely used honky tonk. I mean, there were no limits. When we went in, we said we want to cover as many bases musically as we can in terms of incorporating African American styles. So we had a great time working on the play. We had a great time at the reception. Alderman Danny Davis came down to the reception after the play. It was really, really great. All right, Trepidators, that's it for this week. Thanks so much as always for tuning in. I want you to click on the big red subscribe button or click on my face in the corner. Click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Leave me some comments. I always love to hear from you. All right. I'll see you next time, and my motto. Never stop writing.